Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an update here today with all the major 2025 elections happening tomorrow. What are the final polls saying? We've got a very aggressive Atlas Intel poll that has come in for the New Jersey race. Also, an interesting New York mayoral race update with the betting odds and what have you. But let's just go through and take a look at the important, like major 3, 4 important races with the AG race as well in Virginia. The governor's race, possibly not all that competitive. It could affect the AG's race. We'll have to see. But take a look at this. New Jersey governor, Mikey Sherrill, Jack Citarelli. You can see in 2021, the incumbent Murphy won by around 3 points. That was coming off the Biden victory in 2020. 2017, Murphy won by around 13 points. That was coming off the Trump victory. Now in 2024, we're coming off the Trump victory, and we do have the Atlas Intel. This is by the exact decimal. It's 0.9% lead for Mikey Sherrill. 50-49, Sherrill +1. 0.9%. That's an Atlas Intel poll. Atlas Intel has been an extremely accurate pollster in terms of the general election 2020, 2024. They were also very good, if I remember correctly, in the midterms in 2022. But this is an off year, and we'll have to see how well their polling is, but that's a +1. Fox has been really pro Sherrill. I know they've had like 4 or 5 polls in total during this fall, and they've been all very pro Sherrill. So +7, but you've got Emerson, only Sherrill +2. You've got a Sherrill +4. You've got a Sherrill +7. That's Quinnipiac. Sherrill +3, +1, and Trafalgar Republican pollster with Insider Advantage partnering together to do a Sherrill +1. So you've got several different Sherrill +1 within the margin, even the +2, the +4, the +3 within the margin. You've got 5 or 6 polls out of the 8 or 9 here that are within margin of error for Citarelli to potentially win. It's going to be a very close race. You can see in terms of this, they've got it around 86-14. Yes, I would say Sherrill is the favorite. And you could even say maybe the early voting helping Sherrill slightly relative to the numbers that we saw in 2021. You could also say, well, the Democrats are going to be more galvanized in 2025 coming off the Trump victory in 2024. But I think Citarelli certainly has a shot here. And, back in September, it was around 90-10. It crept closer. I thought it was going to get to around 75-25. We haven't really seen that, and we're seeing some late betting, maybe a little bit of it seems like it's pretty stable at around 85-15, if you will, right now. But listen, when the votes start coming in and Citarelli potentially overperforms in certain counties, right around 7:30, 8 o'clock, these numbers could change rapidly. You could have Citarelli go up to like a 60-70% chance to win. That's just how these things work. But there is an expectation, if we're being honest, that you're looking at around a Sherrill +2.5 point victory. That would be the expectation, but this is a turnout. It depends on the turnout. When you've got a final Atlas Intel poll, one of the best pollsters with a 0.9% lead for Sherrill, it's a 50-50 race, and it's really on the ground. Activity is what you're going to be monitoring in terms of who has more momentum, whether it is Citarelli or Sherrill. I think Sherrill's kind of a weak candidate. She benefits greatly from the fact that, and we're happy Trump won, but just the fact that Trump won in an off year in 2025, the next year, you're probably going to get a more active Democratic voter base. So that's the update when it comes to New Jersey. It's that last Atlas Intel poll, the +0.9 for Sherrill. I think that's a poll to where they forced them to answer because it was 50-49, so it basically adds up to 100. Some of these polls don't add up to 100 because there's like a third option, or they say they don't care, but that is the New Jersey race right there. You have the Virginia governor's race. This is Winsome Earl Sears against Abigail Spanberger. Wow, you've got an Insider Advantage that just released a poll today with a Spanberger +10, and that's going to be an issue for the AG race. That's a down ballot problem if it's a Spanberger +10 from Insider Advantage, a Republican pollster. You've got Emerson the Hill +12, Echelon Insights +12, Atlas Intel, they released their final. This is an issue if it's a +9, +10. We know Youngkin won in 2021. That's coming off the Biden victory. Youngkin was also a better candidate than Earl Sears. So this could be a problem in terms of Jay Jones possibly winning. Could you believe that? In the Attorney General's race. And if you look at the reflection we've seen, where is the Virginia? I think if I go to this, I'll be able to find it's Spanberger right now sitting 98% chance of winning. The margin will be interesting. I wonder if you can bet on the margin on Spanberger victory, right? I mean, imagine if it's 10 point. If it's a 10-point margin, how does Jay Jones lose down ballot? I mean, that would be insane. I guess it could happen, but it'd be very unlikely. So that is not great numbers. The recent stuff, Atlas going with a Spanberger +9. That kind of tells me that maybe there isn't crazy bias from Atlas, and I don't think there is. I mean, they're a really accurate pollster. You get some people saying, well, they're biased, but they've been extremely accurate. So that could be bullish news on New Jersey. Republicans, if they take New Jersey, they win. They win the night. Virginia, it is what it is. It's going to vote the opposite of what happened the previous year in the general election. If Youngkin is running for re-election, this is a completely different race. Let's take a look at the Attorney General. The incumbent Jason Miyares taking on Jay Jones. You've got an insider advantage with Jones up by 2. I mean, again, if you're going to put a poll, with Spanberger up by 10, is Miyares really going to make up that much? And that's an issue. But I mean, obviously we know what happened with this race and with the leaked text messages. And by the way, there's Democrats trying to do a whataboutism on that with like, what has Trump said? That's really heinous stuff, what Jay Jones said about the children of politicians you don't like dying. Trump never said anything like that. That's ridiculous. And so hopefully Jay Jones doesn't win. I mean, a lot of this is probably just normies who don't know voting down ballot because they don't want Earl Sears to win, and they just vote Democrat down in the full ticket. But yeah, that's not a whataboutism you really want to play with Jay Jones. That was some heinous shit, and he's going to be the Attorney General. It's unfortunate, man. It really is. There's just a lot of bots voting down ballots, and it's funny to see some of his campaign videos where he's like, I'm going to fight for everyone with those type of text messages as a grown adult. And again, they try and do, oh, but Trump said, yeah, but that stuff is even worse than what Trump said. Honestly, it is. It's really bad. And so listen, we'll see if he ends up winning. You've also got the, actually, let me go to the current odds. Oh, he's actually right now. See, you had him down at around a 25% chance. With the recent polls, he's back up to, it's almost 50-50. So it's close to 50-50 at this point. We'll have to see. You also do have the Mamdani, Cuomo, New York City mayoral race. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. That you would imagine that. I mean, there was a pretty crazy Atlas Intel poll we just saw. It still had Mamdani up by 4, but New York City mayor still had Mamdani up by 4, or it had Mamdani up by 5. I think 4.5. So the average is 14.5, but the recent one, 44, 30, 39. So Mamdani below 50%, well below 50%. The issue with this for Cuomo, number one, Cuomo is extremely unlikable. Number two, it's a split. You're splitting votes between Cuomo and Sliwa. And so if Sliwa dropped out, if there was maybe some talk with Sliwa to say, hey, listen, we'll give you this if you drop out, evidently that hasn't happened. And so now we're seeing them splitting the vote, even with Mamdani only at 44%, clearly less, than 50. It doesn't matter because they're splitting it. And if Mamdani stays at 44%, yeah, if Sliwa dropped out, Cuomo probably would have won, but Cuomo's a ridiculously flawed candidate himself. It's unfortunate. I know there's a bunch of people that are fear-mongering about this Mamdani winning, and look, it is what it is. It's just a reflection of where New York City is at this point. I mean, if this is the final number, if Mamdani is at like 47 or 48%, you look at the populace of New York City, a lot of those people were not born in the United States. I mean, they have a ridiculous amount, and it's not even like, oh, we're the children of immigrants, we were born in the U.S. These people get naturalized, and they're the ones voting for Mamdani. It's a high number of people that were naturalized, born in other countries, coming to the United States, in New York City, voting for Mamdani. If you take those people away, just people born in the U.S., I think Cuomo would win by probably 9 or 10 points from some of the internal polling data that you see. And so it's just unfortunate, but yeah, that's the update on the New York City mayoral race. I think if you want like a quick analysis of what to watch tomorrow, by the way, look at Trump's approval rating has gone up, the ultimate cope. Now Trump's approval rating is getting a little bit better, looks like, but it's New Jersey, right? New Jersey would be great to have. New Jersey's 50-50. You say maybe Cheryl, yeah, maybe 60-40, 65-35. But listen, if it's a 0.9% lead and you look at the Atlas Intel poll, it's a very close race. And Citarelli almost won in 2021. I think he's improved his favorability. You look at New Jersey, it's a state that definitely has a Republican momentum. We saw the 2024 election, the shock result. The Harris plus 6.5, I think, was the final margin. But it's New Jersey. Virginia, you try and salvage the AG race, you're probably going to need Earl Sears to be within 7 or 8, maybe, for the AG race to be saved. And the New York City mayoral race, I think it's going to be Mamdani. But it could be closer than expected, which is definitely going to cause some people to feel not too happy with Sliwa for not dropping out. But he did win the Republican primary. It's one of those things to where I just want to see the final numbers in terms of the the people that were actually born in the United States instead of getting naturalized from other countries, to see which way they vote and see how that shakes out. Because, we saw the Democratic primary, and it was a lot of the younger white kids that were voting for Mamdani. Socialism tends to appeal to them, and a lot of the minorities were voting for Cuomo. So, but now we're seeing these other polls, and it's like the internal data is saying something different. So I would say the New Jersey race is one to watch. You've also got the Minneapolis mayoral race. Omar Fati going to try and complete the Somalian takeover of Minneapolis. I'm joking. Not really, but I saw he had about a 25% chance to win over the incumbent. So we'll have to see. There's some other mayoral races, I'm sure, and stuff like that. But those are really the main ones that I just talked about. Either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you like the video down below. Also follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.